And okay, I am recording this, so just in case anybody is wondering, and let me see if I can flip the view. Nope. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a bunch of kind of administrative things real fast first, and then I'll go into some notes about how to recruit ambassadors for your teams, which is what the main part of our call is about. So a couple other things. We're going to start doing trainings every week, so yay. I kind of had a goal that I thought for like a couple months when I turned Senior Ruby that I'm going to start doing trainings every week. So since that has happened, we're going to do that, and I've set out a schedule of how we're going to do them. I'm going to have some that are kind of more advanced ideas, and then some I'm just going to be going back to the basics. So for those of you who are brand new, we're going to start doing some making good posts on Facebook and engaging with people on Facebook and do's and don'ts. Some of the rules and regulations of being a Plexus ambassador. We do have an ambassador handbook and things we're actually supposed to be doing, and not posting pricing on Facebook, and different wording we are allowed to use and not allowed to use, that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through some of that in one of our trainings. And then we'll do more on business building and team building and customers and, follow up and all that kind of stuff. So lots of different things that we'll go through for training. So every week, Monday night at 9, I will do one, and they all should end up recorded unless I forget or for some reason it doesn't work. So otherwise it will be recorded. That was strange. Okay. Our 7-day challenge that we have going on right now, you guys all, if you have customers in them, should know we have 2. We have a new one that we created over the weekend, which actually went really well. I thought that was going to be horrendous, getting people to move from one to the other, but everybody transitioned really well. And it seems like a ton of people have started today and are super happy. I was saying to my husband tonight, he was home for about an hour. I was like, man, you should always get people to start together because, one's posting about how happy they are and the other one's, kind of liking it and commenting. And so it's been nice to see kind of the camaraderie of it. With a few people already saying how they didn't have like an afternoon slump and they were feeling better, which I thought was fantastic. So it's great when the others see that, and then kind of mentally they're going to think, oh yeah, I guess I didn't either, So that's really good. So I think those are going really well so far. If you have suggestions on anything at any time, but specifically on the 7-day challenges, please let me know, because I'm going off a couple notes that I got from a couple people, but for the most part, sort of winging it. So I'm always open to suggestions on ways to make it different or better or whatever. So you're not going to hurt my feelings. Just seriously, let me know. And I want to see what else I want to tell you. Oh, I did not look that up. Darn it. My YouTube channel has tons of trainings. And for anybody who's on here who's new, and I do see a couple of names that are like brand new people, I have 15 days of training series out on my YouTube channel. The name of my channel is The Mama Kramer. So the word the, and then Mama, M-A-M-A, Kramer, K-R-A-M-E-R. And if you look that up as the YouTube channel, that's my channel. And one of my playlists, I was like, what is that called? One of my playlists is called 15 Days of Training. And it's 15 training videos, and I think they're all between 4 and 6 minutes long. So they go through tons of different things, just briefly touching on setting goals, posting on Facebook, follow up, building a team, just quickly going through all those different things. But it's a great place to start, and it's a great place to point your new ambassadors as well. So just so you know, that's there. And then all of these trainings go out there as well. I think I have a playlist that says like weekly trainings or something like that. And they'll go out there as well. I was going to give you guys to start tonight my statistics on how many ambassadors I have recruited as level 1s, just because I think it goes to the point of the fact that you can recruit people and not everybody's going to work the business. And Matt and I were talking about this tonight. I've probably recruited about 40, maybe 50 ambassadors total. But of those, I probably only have 10 to 15 who are actually truly working the business. So I wish I had actually looked that up. I'm not even sure I know how to look it up in the new system, I'll be honest, but I didn't even try because I got distracted by other things. But, you know, the whole point of what I want to talk about tonight is different ways that we can approach people and how we can always be sharing about the business, you know, whomever we're speaking to, and not to be afraid to do that. And I know Liza has the same thing. She very well might have more level ones than I do. And this is between me and my husband. We split our business between the two of us once I turned gold. And Liza and her husband have done the same. But, you know, most of those people end up being wholesale customers. So they're an ambassador who's really doing that just for wholesale. Most people are not going to turn into somebody who actually wants to work the business, and that's okay. They still add value to your business, and they still are helping you in their own way. So you don't have to feel like, I think when I started, I didn't really know that that was the way, and I kind of felt like people, if somebody wasn't going to be, in my mind, good at the business, or if they weren't actually going to work the business, then they would not be a good ambassador. And that's not true. Anyone who is going to keep over 100 PV a month is going to be a good candidate to be an ambassador. And then I obviously always encourage people to share with their family and friends. And some people do. I mean, Crystal on this call swore she was never going to tell anybody about Plexus, and now she's posting every day and telling everybody. And I think she started that 2 weeks in when she felt so good. You never know what somebody is going to do, is my point. I have one girl, I was telling somebody this the other day, she buys for herself. She won't even tell her mom that she's doing it because she doesn't want to give away her secret as to how she feels so good and looks so good. So it's like, she's funny. And so whatever, I mean, that's her prerogative. That's her own choice, and maybe someday she will. But if you want to keep it a secret, that's fine. If you want to share with the world, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But the point is that those people are going to be plenty fine ambassadors too. She's getting it for the wholesale pricing, and that's okay. Celeste Gwen, our double diamond, says that to her it is a ministry. It is a way that she is helping people. And so in that, if she's going to help people to feel better and to get healthy and be out of pain, then clearly she's going to offer them the best pricing that there is on that. She's not going to try to, have inflated prices of, she's always going to try to do the best for the person because it is a ministry to her. And so if our senior leader, our double diamond, says that to her, everyone should be open to wholesale pricing, then that's the way it is. And that's what I'm going to go based on as well. So with that in mind, I think I've told you guys this one 100 million times, but absolutely offer ambassador pricing to everyone. There is not a single person who, when I message them, if we're having a conversation back and forth about Plexus, every single person, I am going to tell them, here are the 2 ways you can buy. You can buy as an ambassador, you'll get wholesale pricing, and I tell them a little bit about that. There's no risk, there's no contract, you can turn it off at any time. Or you can buy as a preferred customer. The pricing is a little, higher, but it is the best customer pricing we have. And again, no risk, no contracts. And I do say the only thing you lose as an ambassador is your 60-day money-back guarantee. But no one, I never, ever, ever prejudge somebody. Even if somebody says to me, I will never sell anything, don't even tell me anything about selling, then I will say, to make sure they know I heard them, I completely understand you have no interest in selling, but I feel obligated to tell you the different pricing points. And then I say, as an ambassador, you certainly never have to sell to anybody. Here's the price. But as a preferred customer, if you choose that, if that's what you would, prefer, that's totally fine. Here's the price. But I'm not going to not tell somebody. But I make sure they know that I saw what they said. I hear what they're saying. When you're talking to people, don't just vomit Plexus all over them. Don't just give them tons and tons of statistics and data and here's 17 testimonies you should see. And, I had a real long email I would start people with in the very beginning, and I got nobody replying to me. And I was like, okay, it didn't take me long to figure out that this must not work, And if you think about it, people read things that are 2 or 3 sentences, 4 sentences, and then they shut off, I had somebody say to me the other day, well, I can't read through all these, I think it's the terms and agreements. She was trying to read it on her phone. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't think it's meant to be read on a phone. It's very short, but when you're trying to read it on a phone, it looks like it's this long, you know? Of course, it seems like there's a lot there. But people just want to be able to read something really quickly. And so I do not give people tons of data and facts. I do not give them tons and tons of information at once. I wait for them to ask questions. I wait for them to have a conversation with me. And out on my team page, I have the 3 points of contact that I have with someone. And I cannot remember what that's called, but I can look it up in the files section. But it's like 3 contacts. You know, essentially I tell them what Plexus is, and then I tell them, I ask them about their health goals, whatever. Then I tell them about the products that would be best for them, wait for, you know, some sort of dialogue, and then tell them about pricing. But it's 3 short little paragraphs. I don't, you know, send tons and tons of information. And you want to touch much more with everyone on the, I'm trying to think of the right word, like have passion and enthusiasm and tell them more about how you're going to feel, how things are going to, you know, you're going to feel better, you're going to have more energy, what they're going to get from it versus, you know, the statistics of, you know, 29% of people have cholesterol issues or whatever, you know. You don't want to go into the facts as much as you want to tell them how they're going to feel. Sarah Marble says it like this. She says that you don't want to tell people about the airplane, you want to tell them about the destination. And we've talked about that on another training as well. Nobody cares about the airplane they're going to take to Hawaii. They care more about what the sand is going to look like, what the ocean's going to smell like, you know, what the resort's going to look like. Those are the things they care about, that end result. How are you going to feel? What's your energy level going to be? What's your mood going to be? You know, how do you personally feel different than than what you used to before? That's what sells, is that passion and enthusiasm and not the facts and stuff. Speaking with confidence is huge. And you have to fake it till you make it, to be honest. You really do. Until you really feel that you have confidence in what you're saying, first of all, you can practice what you're going to say. I like to practice things in my head, like kind of go over what I would say out loud without saying it out loud. But some people have to verbalize it. My husband, when he is in sales, like for real sales, like Liza, the for real sales, not like us. But when he is learning a new product, he will actually like just say it out loud, and he needs to hear it, and it needs to, you know, begin to make sense in his brain so that he says it the right way every time. Now, I, on the other hand, like drive myself crazy. If I listen to myself, it just sounds worse and worse every time. But if I say it in my head, then I feel more confident in what I'm saying and it comes out kind of right. But make sure that you know what you want to say. You know, make sure you have some sort of a plan for how you're going to discuss with people so that you don't just start, you know, just vomiting all over them information, that you have some sort of a dialogue ready. And that you have it with confidence. The more times you say something, even if it's saying it to your mirror or saying it to your dog or saying it in the car while you're driving, the more confidence you're going to have in what you're saying. And Alicia McKee, our Diamond Silver upline, says, you know, if you don't personally have the confidence yet, lean on our confidence. So, you know, if you are not 100% confident in these products or in this business yet, lean on the confidence that your upline has and that their upline has, and Haley DeJock and me and Liza and lots of other people on our team. We have confidence in these products and in this business for a reason, because they really work. So you might not 100% know that and feel that yet, but know that the people around you do and have confidence because of that. And your own, you know, belief is going to come later. Couple other little things. Follow-up is huge. And this one's not even little. This one's huge. And the lady who just joined tonight, Brittany, is a friend of mine. And it's funny because just a couple days ago, I was honestly thinking like, gosh, I probably have like offended her somehow. I might have contacted her too many times. Maybe, you know, she thinks I'm too pushy, whatever, because she had stopped answering me. She posted on Facebook tonight about her brother having this rare pain disease. And I just thought for fun, not fun, but you know what I mean? Just for fun, I was going to go to the top of my newsfeed and I was going to Google this pain, this disease that he has. It's like EMS or ERS, something like that. I've never heard of it before. I have no idea what it is. But I put in ERS and plexus. And sure enough, would you not know that there were like 5 different testimonies and a video that came up. So all I said to her, she hasn't replied to anything I've sent her in over a month, but was so enthusiastic before, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and then nothing for a month, no matter what I sent to her. So I just posted in her, like she was commenting about how awful this disease is, and I just said, gosh, I feel so bad for him. I just sent you a message, you should read it. That's all I said. Well, she just signed up. It was like, for whatever reason, that was the trigger. And now she's going to tell her sister-in-law, and it's for her brother who's married to her sister-in-law and whatever. But you just never know. She said, I've just been really busy and I've got a lot going on. And, sorry. That was all, that she said. And you just never know what's going on with somebody, and you can't take it personally, because I do. Even now, 17 or 18 months into this, I still think, gosh, what have I done? But I don't let that hold me up from still contacting people until somebody says, do not ever contact me again about Plexus. I don't want anything to do with you, which has never happened, probably never will. Then I'm going to continue to follow up until they say no. And that is key. It is critical. If I had just given up and thought, oh, I offended her, I'm never going to talk to her about this again, I don't want to hurt her feelings, I don't want to offend her, whatever, then I would have lost out on a new ambassador tonight. So, follow-up is key, and having something good to send her, like she was really excited to read that and really excited to hear that there is something that, is going to help her brother. So, everybody should have a list of 100. I don't know that everybody on this group knows that, but a list of 100 is going to help you, because it's 100 people that you are friends with either on Facebook or, I went into my phone and just started scrolling my contacts and made a list of 100. If you don't have a list of 100 now, you need to make one. And more important than making your list of 100 is actively working that list. Whether that is actually talking to people about Plexus, like messaging them and saying, hey, you won't believe this amazing new business I'm with, and these products that I found that are making me feel, incredible, and I no longer have this and that, whatever it is that you're going to say about it, whether it's outwardly telling them about it, or I have done that some, but I have also just reconnected with people, just building a friendship and a relationship again, asking them how they're doing. Hey, haven't talked to you in a long time. How are your kids? I know you were in college. Did you finish your degree? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, just building those friendships and letting them know, like, I'm still here and I care, and never mentioning Plexus. And almost every single time I've done that, the person has reached out and asked me about Plexus. Either during the conversation, like, how's that business of yours going? I see all your Facebook stuff or whatever. Or they ask, hey, what are you doing these days, if they're not seeing my information, and then we start a conversation. But that list of 100, you cannot write that list and then put it to the side and do nothing with it. You absolutely have to work that list, whether you're outwardly, promoting and saying, hey, I'm doing Plexus, I really want you to know about it, which I highly suggest everyone, especially when you are new. You should be telling everybody that, you know that you've started this new business and you found these new incredible products. For me, now 18 months into this, when I am working my list of 100, I do it a little less aggressively, because hopefully by now everybody knows that I'm doing Plexus. I've been posting twice a day, every day for 18 months. They should know. But just more building the friendships and the relationships. And you never know who's going to need it when. It could even be 6 months from now or a year from now. But it's always great to rebuild friendships. And then kind of going hand in hand with that is engaging people on Facebook and just socially outside of Facebook. Obviously, do not hide behind Facebook as the only way that you do anything. It's not healthy for any of us to just, only have Facebook friends. We have to have real social interaction as well. But be prepared just to go out and talk to people and, like things on Facebook, comment on people's stuff on Facebook, to continue to have that relationship with people. People are not going to want to hear about Plexus if all you are doing is talking about Plexus. And if the only time you connect with them is to say something about Plexus, they want to know that you still are you, that you still like the same things you used to like, that you still, comment on their, pictures of their kids at Halloween or whatever. Like, it takes an effort to be a friend. And part of that is, connecting and saying, hey, I saw your mom had surgery last week, just checking in and seeing how she's doing. It makes a difference in true friendships when you're going that extra mile to see how people are. And I think that helps a ton. Another big thing is asking questions to open conversations. So not necessarily just a general conversation, although it's true, but when someone starts to talk about plexus or ask you about plexus, you can ask open-ended questions to get more information out of them. So say somebody says they're very tired. Gosh, I just feel so awful. I feel so tired every day. Well, gosh, how long have you felt tired like that? Oh, well, I felt like this forever. I can't even remember a day that I didn't feel so tired. Well, what have you tried to deal with that? Oh, I drink 17 cups of coffee a day. You're going to get answers from them that are going to help you to kind of walk through the conversation with them. You don't want to, again, and it goes back to the whole, don't just tell them everything about plexus. Like, you really want to get information from them. It's great because it helps you with figuring out which products would help them, but it's also great because they know that you're actually listening to them and you're not just trying to sell them something. You're trying to help them. And that kind of ties into the feel, felt, found, which is huge for customers and ambassadors recruiting people. But to say, okay, so we're talking about this lady who's really tired, who drinks 17 cups of coffee a day. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the very same way before plexus, or I felt the very same way, a few months ago or a year ago. I used to drink 6 cups of coffee a day and, throughout the entire day. But what I found was that these amazing nutritional supplements that I take, have you ever heard of them? Plexus, they, help so much with natural energy, blah, 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 whatever it is you want to say. But you can't just say, gosh, you really need this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm not going to talk to you at all, but I know you need this. That's not going to work. You have to have that back and forth conversation with them. And a great way to do it is ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. It's just natural. People love to, tell you how they feel or tell you what they're struggling with or whatever. That's natural too. And then for you to be able to connect with them, and not just say, I know you really need this, as much as I felt the same way. It's that emotional connection. It's less of the facts, Oh, you don't want to say something like, you take this Plexus Slim and you won't need those 6 cups of coffee. It's like, no, I felt the same way you feel. And what I found was these amazing products that really work. What I found was, I have a girlfriend who no longer has migraines or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be you. I've seen so many testimonies where, oh, Jen, you're screen sharing. You can say, I've seen some up at the very top. You can click on, yeah, very good. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you can use other people's testimonies and say, my friend Sally has found that, these products have helped with her migraines. Or I've seen so many testimonies where people have found that they don't need, the sugar anymore or whatever it is. But that feel, felt, found is really incredible for connecting with people. And that's really what it is. It's just really important, whether you're trying to sign on an ambassador or a customer, that you're making a connection, a personal connection with somebody. And that from that personal connection, then you are sharing, hey, here's the best pricing, the best way that you can do this. And that's, I would really honestly say that's the crux of it, and follow up. So that is kind of what I have to share with you. I always ask, Liza, what do you think? You have other tips for signing ambassadors?
Yeah. So just a couple things that I wanted to add on was, when you do get no's from people, things that I've read is just make sure you recycle your list, because when they say no at the time, it doesn't mean that it's no forever. And you just never know when they might see a testimony on your page that really hits them, and it hits home for some reason. And it happens to me every day in my own sales career, my other sales career. I could tell a doctor the same thing for 6 months, and until it really affects him in a way with a certain patient, he doesn't always hear me. So just remember that. Just kind of recycle your list, go back to it every 6 months and look at those people that did say no, because you just never know what could have changed in their life too. Just things change for people in their lives over 6 months. Look for people on Facebook that you haven't seen in your newsfeed for a while, because I have found if I go through my friends list and I see people that I haven't seen in a long time on Facebook, I'll just click on their page and see that they've been posting all along, but for some reason they've fallen off of my newsfeed. So I'll just quickly like something, and then all of a sudden they'll be back in my newsfeed, so that then you know that they're seeing your stuff too. Another thing that I've learned from some of the jewels is to try and friend at least 2 people a week. I mean, don't go crazy and, start friending people that you don't know or whatever, but really try and have genuine conversations with people outside of Facebook. And like Melissa said, have real relationships outside of Facebook, and, make sure you're friending those people, and really try and connect with people out in public and try and generate conversations with them. Sales clerks, waitresses, whatever. And if you think that they're doing a good job at their job and you think that they might be good on your team, kind of just approach them about it and say, hey, I think you'd be really awesome at this. And I'd like to talk to you more about it. And can I get your information? Can I friend you on Facebook? That's one way of trying to get to know new people. When people reach out to you on Facebook for the first time, just kind of find out, hey, what caught your eye about Plexus? What interests you? And what health issues do you have that, don't always assume that it's about weight, because it could be insomnia, an insomnia post or a migraine post. Just kind of try and find out what their health issues are. And then your current customers that are preferred, so that they plan on continuing on the customers. That's what I did this summer, and I signed, I think, 26 people to be ambassadors when I knew that they planned on staying on as customers. Then I felt that I could approach them with the wholesale pricing. And it's a great way, because if you know that they're liking it, then it just makes sense for them to join for the $34.95. It's a big savings over time. So whether they're going to work the business or not, it just helps to grow your team. And that's it.
Yep, absolutely. The only other thing when you reminded me is that don't take no's as a bad thing. Not everybody is going to want this business. Not everybody is going to want these products. Even in your own family, do not be surprised. Many, many jewels do not have family members who are doing this. Many do. Yeah, yours. Yeah. I mean, I don't. My sister, my mother, my father will have nothing to do with it, which is really funny. Whatever. To each their own. I can't. But I'm not going to let that get me down. It is what it is. They said no, okay, whatever. They very well might change their mind at another time. They very well might not. But don't let naysayers and don't let negative people or people who say no bring you down, because, as I've heard many times, if this were for everybody, then it wouldn't be as amazing as it is for those who do it. So if everyone were doing multi-level marketing, then multi-level marketing would not be incredible for anyone. It would just be watered down. It would be, a dime a dozen, whatever, just everybody be doing it. But it's not. And because of that, it's actually really an incredible business for those who do it. So just don't ever let that get you down. And definitely, like Liza said, some people come around. I had a girl tell me, absolutely not, I don't ever want to see one of your posts again, kind of a thing, which was ridiculous, whatever. And then like a year later, start asking me questions about it. I'm like, what are you doing? I could have sworn you told me you never wanted to see a post again. But I think her circumstances had changed, and she got tired, and she, started to not feel as good and whatever. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, wait a minute, where's Melissa with all that Plexus stuff? So you just never know, and that's okay. We're not going to be here to solve everybody's problems, but we can help people, and we can help a lot of people, and that's incredible, and that's huge. So that is what we have for you this evening, y'all. And I hope it is helpful. Definitely we have some great contests going on this month for recruiting. You can absolutely do this. Make a point, absolutely, every time you talk to somebody, when you're talking about pricing, that you're going to tell them ambassador and preferred customer. Do not hold back. Tell every single person. And it's going to help your business a ton. So anyway, that is all. Have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Bye.